Pop Punk and Pizza podcast is presented by Pop Punk Takeout, which is a monthly subscription box filled with merchandise from pop punk artists from all over the world. And they're well into the sales of their first pizza box, which features Keep Flying, 408, Cities Never Sleep, and Brave Weather. And we have partnered with them to give one lucky winner their July box absolutely free. So this box features vinyl, t-shirts, stickers, and more. And you can enter this giveaway on our Instagram at Pop Punk Pizza Pod. And the giveaway is going to end this Friday, June 18th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And the winner is going to be contacted via direct message on Instagram. And just so you know, this giveaway is not associated, sponsored, endorsed, or administered by Instagram. And I'm sorry, but the giveaway does not include pizza as well. So sorry. We'll do another pizza giveaway at some point. And then additional support for this podcast does come from sex, drugs, and emo, heartbreak, anxiety, and depression. It's all the things you're going to find in our sponsor, which is Rock Bottom at the Renaissance, an emo kid's journey through falling in and out of love in and with New York City. It's the best-selling mixtape memoir about struggling with mental illness and the power that pop punk and emo can have to help you get through it. So Rock Bottom at the Renaissance isn't just an audio book, it's an audio experience starring Tyler Posey and featuring a 20-song soundtrack that includes two Jimmy Eat World recordings you can't hear anywhere else. And obviously songs from Dashboard Confessional, Mayday Parade, The Wonder Years, Bayside, Alkaline Trio, and more. Stay tuned for a clip later in the episode. And for links to find it at your favorite place to buy books, ebooks, or audiobooks, go to rockbottombook.com. And I definitely suggest getting the audiobook on Audible to hear the way Tyler Posey puts himself into the story and to feel the way the 20-song soundtrack will put you into the story. So if you think you're weird because you find a way to relate to like every single song you hear, or because you play a song on repeat because you're sure that they specifically wrote this for you, then Rock Bottom at the Renaissance, an emo kid's journey through falling in and out of love in and with New York City isn't just for you, it's about you. Get more info at rockbottombook.com.
I'm going out, I gotta go. I'll bang a rang on the radio. So turn it up, I'm telling you. I think I'm ready for something new. Hey, hello, it's nice to meet ya. Hey, come in and have a slice of pizza. Hey, hello, it's nice to meet ya. Hey, come in and have a slice of pizza.
You're listening to Pop Punk and Pizza with Jacques Lamour.
All right, hello and welcome to Pop Punk and Pizza. I'm, of course, Jacques Lamour, your host. It is so great to have you here. Thank you for joining our live stream or downloading this podcast later on your favorite podcast platform. It's truly a pleasure to do this with you each and every week. And I'm pretty excited about tonight's guests because they're a band that I've wanted to have on the podcast for a long time now, and the stars just never aligned until now. So I'm excited to later on be welcoming Keep Flying onto the show, which is a band. It has an interesting, super interesting sound in my opinion. They take skate punk, like 90s skate punk, for instance. Then they take modern pop punk and emo. They mix those two together, and then they throw horns on that sound. And it's just absolutely incredible. So we'll be talking to them later on. But first, before we do, the first guest we're going to talk to before we get to Keep Flying is actually someone who's been on the podcast before, but it was a long time ago, back early on in 2017. He was originally on episode 23 talking about his band Above the Mendoza. But now Mendoza, as far as I know, is not together anymore. We'll get into that when he gets on. But now Pete Long is his name, and he now has a band called My Girlfriend's Cousin's House. So let's welcome Pete Long to the show. Whoops, that was the wrong one. My bad. Oh my gosh. No, serious. That sounded like it was planned, but it actually wasn't. I literally did not mean to hit the fart button. My God. Jeez.
I almost believe you.
No, seriously. I have no idea what the hell happened there. I meant to hit my applause, but anyway, Pete, it's so great to talk to you again, man. And we figured out it was 2017, right?
Yeah, it was. I was like working the Warp Tour at the time, like for my friend Jake Langley had a record label, and I was working it and was driving home from Florida. So it was like the middle of July on a 24 almost hour drive home that I was talking to you last time. So
I completely forgot about the Jake part, though. I
yeah,
completely forgot about that. I just remember. Weren't you promoting Above the Mendoza, though, on the tour as well, besides working for Jake?
yeah. So I was working for Jake, like selling CDs and shirts, and then I was also selling Above the Mendoza CDs at the
Okay.
lines and like kind of with the sampler that Jake was selling, and
Yeah.
then I was on my way home from the Warp Tour to then immediately leave like 2 days later on an Above the Mendoza tour. So I think that's where like the crossover was. But yeah, it was. It's been a while.
So, Kyle says that wasn't the soundboard. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. um, what was the name of Jake's label? That's what I was trying to think of.
It's called Pass Along Knowledge Yourself. PAKY.
Is that still around?
I don't think so.
I don't,
I know
because
like Handguns was doing some stuff and Jake was doing that with Handguns, and then he's I haven't seen too much music related um social media posts or anything and haven't heard from him about music. So I'm not sure if it's still going on. I know Zach, who was like one of the other owners of that label, he is in a new band called Bud KY, and they just put out a music video a week or two ago. And they
okay.
actually own a record store in Kentucky where they're from. So
Oh, that's
um,
cool.
so they're still like pushing along music, just not in the PAKY
Okay.
kind of atmosphere.
Gotcha. Yeah, now it's all coming back to me. I really wanted to listen to that episode before we got on just to kind of like relive that moment. But I remember when you first emailed me about getting your new band, my cousin's girlfriend's house, or my girlfriend's cousin's. Wait,
No, it
wait.
is my cousin's girlfriend's house.
Okay, yeah,
It's a mouthful.
it is. That's what she said. Anyway, I do remember you were driving from what, Florida, right? During the recording of that episode?
Yeah, it was literally like the last hour or last 2 hours of my drive. That was a 24-hour straight through the night. Like had to get back home to practice for the Above the Mendoza tour. So you were keeping me awake at that point. I think we
I
talked
remember
about,
that.
like,
Dude.
it was so hot and our van didn't have air conditioning. So it was,
Yes.
like, keep
See,
you awake.
that's the worst. And I remember those last few hours are always the worst of those really, really long drives. Always. I remember coming home from my original band I was in, The Projection. I remember coming home from our very first tour and literally having to stop. I was like falling asleep at the wheel. And I think the only thing that worked at the time was like a big Monster energy drink, which
Oh, yeah.
I'm not like a fan of energy drinks, but like I had to, you know?
Yeah, I agree. Like at that point, coffee doesn't even work. Like I could
Yeah.
keep drinking coffee, and it's like, well, hot, ice, whatever it is, it's just not doing the trick. Like
Nope.
windows open sometimes works late at night, but when it's July and hot out, like not even that works. So it's kind of
Mm-mm.
just like you have got to power through. And
Yeah, even the
Yeah.
5-hour energy shots, those didn't do it for me either.
No,
Like
I
only
never
the
felt.
there was something about the Monster, you know. So, um, sorry, I was looking at I was trying to look at some of these comments here. Um, so what happened to Above the Mendoza? Obviously, the last time you were on, that you were, I just remember you were in that band with your older brother, right?
Mhm. Yep, it was my older brother and then a few other members. And essentially, what happened is just everybody had new things in life. My brother got married, and
Oh, congratulations to
I
him.
think everybody in the band except for myself and the other lead singer got married. And then the other lead singer went on to pursue acting and actually was acting on a Disney cruise before the whole pandemic happened. So all killing it in the facets of life that they're pursuing, but just
Yeah.
kind of not enough time to focus on above Mendoza as much as we would have liked to. And then I ended up taking a job in North Carolina, which was ultimately what kind of led to our official, end, just because I was so far away. And then by the time I got back, everybody was on their own, kind of doing their own thing.
So, what did you do in North Carolina? What was your job?
I was working for a girls' golf tour. It was like a junior travel golf tour, and I was doing communication, so like social media, photo, video, and stuff. I went to school for that kind of stuff. So it was like I hit that point where, I graduated college and I didn't know what I wanted to do. I really wanted to pursue music, but at the same time, had to make a choice. And at that time, I just decided to move to North Carolina and do this. And it was a lot of working, long weekends, and a lot of traveling. And essentially, for a year, I put my guitar down and was trying to forget music and kind of put that past. And it was a good learning experience and all, but you learn that music is who you are.
Yeah,
Pretty quickly.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm just laughing at that whole thing because it never happens, like because I've done it myself. I think I've done it a couple times, at this point. And you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna completely forget about that, and we're just gonna, focus on this thing.
Exactly. And I have that kind of like the DIY drive of putting together a band and all that promoting. It's like it is your life. So I have that kind of dedication and I needed a new avenue. So for a short period of time I was trying to be a sports writer. So I was doing like sports blogs. I had a sports podcast and I was like, I'm sports guy. I'm not music guy anymore. But like
That sounds so unlike you. I don't know you super well, but it just
No, it was a tough period of time where I was trying to figure out what my purpose was. And society can tend to push you towards getting a job in your field, and I kind of succumbed to that pressure. But what
yeah.
ended up kind of cracking the "you are a musical person, please get back to that" was Sad Summer Fest was held in Atlanta, Georgia, which was like a 6-hour drive, and I just drove down myself and did the 2 day. It was 2 days, and the Wonder Years are my favorite band. So once I kind of saw their set and got into it, I was like, the hell am I doing, man? I gotta get back to that. That's where like my heart lies. So moved back up to Philly, and here we are now, finally back into music.
And that would have been the summer of 19, right?
Yes, because that was like right at the tail end of my time. So I like knew I was moving back to Philly, but I hadn't
Okay.
rekindled the love for music until I saw the Wonder Years, and I was like, why did I stop writing songs? Why did I put my guitar away and try like? No, I don't want to be a sports reporter. I want to play music. And
Yeah.
I'm just glad I came to that realization before it was even later, and I would, be regretting not having that time playing music.
I love the fact that it was a Philly-based band too
Oh yeah,
that you watched and you're like, what am I doing? Like
it's
what?
exactly what it was like. The whole state champs was there too. Like all the pop
Right.
punk bands that were playing, I was like, oh my god, this is everything that I've been missing. And
Yeah,
I didn't have
Stand Atlantic played.
Stand Atlantic, the Maine,
I was gonna say Maine
May Day
played.
Parade, and it was a 2 day thing. So like I think the
Oh, it
Wonder
was
Years
2 days
yeah, in
down there.
Atlanta, that was the first day
Wow.
of it. So it's like
Okay.
at that point, it was just like I don't know. The Wonder Years. Every time I see them, I go absolutely insane. They're the
Oh
one
yeah.
band that like,
They got so much energy.
oh my god. Every time I see them, I could see them as many times, and it never gets old. So it was like it's fitting that that's what got me back.
Yeah. Someone's telling you that the Sixers are
Thank
up
you.
38 to
Thank you,
21.
Nate. That's my friend Nate. We watched the game on Monday together. It didn't go well, but good to know they're winning now. Thanks for watching, Nate, and let's hope they don't blow it again.
So this is how much of a sports guy I am. I just want to make sure Sixers is basketball, right?
Yes.
Okay. See?
No. So it's
Um,
better not to be a sports guy because it doesn't like your heart doesn't get attached to something that can be ripped out so easily. Like bands don't let you down, but your sports teams let you down.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about real quick my cousin's girlfriend's house. That name is utterly ridiculous, and it fits right into pop punk. And Above the Mendoza wasn't like a serious band,
Mhm.
but as far as like the tone of the band, when I say serious, that's what I
Right.
mean. But like my cousin's girlfriend's house is like totally more on the like silly scale. Let's have fun. It's a little cheesy, a little corny, but see, I'm not saying that in a bad way. I mean that in a good way because I like stuff like that, and there hasn't been a lot of that in
Mm.
pop punk lately. I feel like it's more of a little more on the serious tone, not necessarily super serious, but not as goofy. Not there hasn't been I haven't seen as much goofy pop punk, I guess. I think the only other thing that I can think of that's been super goofy is I can't remember the name of the band now, but they put out that song singing about how their mom is on OnlyFans. Now I can't remember the band. Um,
I can't think of it.
have you heard that song?
Yeah, I can't think of.
Um, I can't. It doesn't. Beside the point, but anyway. So you put out your debut EP not that long ago, and is it E or is it
M-
M?
It's MCGH, so it is
Okay.
our MCGH, but we spelled it out. Um,
Yeah, that's what I was like. I think it's MCGH. I was like, I think that's what it is.
that's the point of the band, is just to confuse everybody and make nobody want to listen to music, because the name and the album and and the song titles are people's names and dogs' names, so it's like all over the place. But I like that you brought up that it's like silly, and I think like when I came back and it was me, Brian, and Andrew got together, we were all in different bands. We decided to jam, and it was just like a jam for fun. And that's like how My Cousin's Girlfriend's House came up. It was in a conversation. And I think really like we like to have fun, and like being in a band is fun for us. So like it's all genuine. We just enjoy, being silly like that, and that's kind of our personalities, like really dry humor. So that's kind of what comes off in social media posts and like any videos and stuff. But I think for this EP, it was definitely like a reintro to music for me and for all of us, learning to play together. So some of the songs are a little, poppier. That was definitely what we were going for at first, but definitely in the newer stuff we're working on, it's like want to keep that lighthearted vibe in terms of like having fun, but the song content has definitely gotten a little bit darker, and even like the music has gotten a little bit heavier. But
Oh, okay.
we'll see like those songs aren't all fleshed out yet, so we'll see. But
Yeah.
it's definitely always kind of trying to float that line between too serious and too fun. So
Right.
just like finding the right balance.
Well, the second, release, the second EP from it after the debut, it's always got to be a little darker.
Edgy.
There's,
We got to get our punk cred.
I don't know. There's something about that with I don't think bands do it necessarily on purpose. Maybe sometimes, but it just seems like a stereotype. It's that second release that's always like on the darker or more serious end.
You got to show that
Um,
you're a true artist,
yeah, you got
That's right.
well, you gotta right, you
I'm just
gotta
playing.
you gotta put out all the different like look, we can do this too, which is totally fine. That's great. But the first song on the EP is called "Too Late, Tom," and it's referencing Tom from MySpace, and it's almost like just from the lyrics, the content, it's like you're trying to go to sleep at night, but the thought of like what happened to Tom and MySpace? Like,
Yeah.
how did it disappear? And it's like that whole thought of like, huh, I wonder what happened is like keeping you up at night, and I love that.
Yeah, it was literally just like I have trouble sleeping, so a lot of times I am up in the night thinking about stuff that I'd rather be sleeping than thinking about. But on
Uh-huh.
that particular night, it was thinking about MySpace and like, wow, all these different social media platforms, whatever. So like that line came from just being up at 4 a.m. thinking about where did MySpace go wrong.
Brittany says, never forget
R.I.P.
RIP. I don't think he's dead, but, obviously MySpace still exists. It's just not in the forefront like it was.
In the glory days.
Tom, here we go. Tom was Zuckerberg in a mask, is what Kyle says. That's great. Um, so I think we should go ahead and play the music video and the song for everyone to watch and listen to, and then we'll eventually in a couple minutes we'll bring on Keep Flying. So, what is Pete? What is the best way for people to get a hold of My Cousin's Girlfriend's House?
all the social medias at my cousin's girlfriend's house, except for Twitter. It's Cousins GF's house because they have a character limit, so we weren't able to hit that. And then we have a YouTube,
Yeah, it's a little long.
right? We have to work on that. But
Yeah, that's
we
what
got a
she said.
YouTube. We got a YouTube, and then Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you stream, and of course Bandcamp if you prefer that medium. But music is out, and have some more content coming out in the coming days. But just wanted thanks for having me on, and the other guys who couldn't be here also would like to thank you, and we appreciate what you're doing for pop punk, man.
Thank you. No, thanks for hitting me up again. I'm glad we could reconnect. And, I see you've grown a beard now, so you got that going for you too,
It's coming
So,
off soon. Don't worry, it's too itchy, but that's the only way to be certified pop punk.
right. Yeah, especially if you're a fan of the Wonder Years.
Oh yeah, got my
So,
sweet beard.
all right. Well, Pete, thank you for being with us. And we are going to watch and listen to My Cousin's Girlfriend's House, Too Late Tom. Right? Yeah, Too Late. I was second guessing myself there. But yeah, take care, Pete.
Okay, thanks.
It's 2 a.m. again. Toss and turn, the pages burning in my head again. Cool side of the pillows drenched in sweat again. Heaviness pushing down a wave soaking in my brain. Lately, from 4 to 6, I'll lie awake and ponder everything from atom bombs to where did my space go wrong. Well, good till 8:15. Thanks again, my friend. Anxiety, at least for now, I can write this song. 3 a.m. again. Torpedoes locked and loaded for my head again. Every thought escapes the wasteland it's embedded in. Never-ending panic, mindless manic between the sheets. Lately, from 4 to 6, I'll lie awake and ponder everything from atom bombs to where did my space go wrong. Well, good till 8:15. Thanks again, my friend. Anxiety, at least for now, I can write this song. Fading, breaking, introspective contemplating. My brain is to blame. Tell me, where did I go wrong? Fading, breaking, counting sheep is so frustrating. Time stands in place, every minute drags along. Lately, from 4 to 6, I'll lie awake and ponder everything from atom bombs to where did my space go wrong. Also till 8:15, thanks again, my friend. Anxiety, at least for now, I can write this song. But I can't take no more. I can't take no more. But I can't take no more. From 4 to 6, I'll lie awake and ponder everything from atom bombs to where did my space go wrong.
Okay, My Cousin's Girlfriend's House with Too Late Tom. I don't know if we'll ever really know what happened to MySpace. Once again, I've got to remind you real quick about our wonderful title sponsor this year, Pop Punk Takeout. We are currently doing an Instagram giveaway. They're well into their sale of their very first pizza box, which is featuring Keep Flying, who we're going to talk to here in a couple minutes. And then it also features 408, Cities Never Sleep, and Brave Weather. And so we've partnered with them to give one lucky winner their July box for absolutely free. And this box features vinyl, t-shirts, stickers, and more. And you can enter the giveaway on our Instagram at PopPunkPizzaPod. The giveaway is going to end this Friday, June 18th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Winner will be contacted via direct message on Instagram. And giveaway is not associated, sponsored, endorsed, or administered by Instagram. And additional support for this episode also comes from my good friend Mike Henneberger. He wrote this amazing mixtape memoir that Tyler Posey narrates, and we're going to play a clip of that for you right now.
Up with me. Fuck that. The fear was catching up with me. Fuck that. It's caught up with me. The extra Adderall that I took on top of the extra Adderall that I took earlier today might have something to do with that. I keep noticing new levels of how fast my heart can race without exploding. I've discovered new levels of how much my hands can shake while still being able to type words on a keyboard. I'm finding how much one can feel like they're dying without actually dying. I suppose if I did die in this room, at least my body would be found tomorrow, maybe just sitting in this chair that I've spent most of my time in this weekend. While everyone I know is probably out having fun in the company of friends, I've been in a shitty desk chair in front of a computer, feeling like I'm on death's doorstep, ringing the doorbell with anxiety that wants to look for an unlocked window and just break the fuck in. Turns out, writing about loneliness doesn't make you any less lonely. Writing about being fucked up in the head doesn't make you any less fucked up in the head. Some poor housekeeper, who would probably remind me of my mom, would find me limp and lifeless in front of closed pill bottles and an open laptop with an unfinished book next to a finished bottle of Johnny Walker. Who would care? I'm nobody. I don't have other books that people have loved. No one would say, oh no, he had one more in him and now we'll never know how it ends. Or maybe this is how it ends. But no one would care enough to finish it for me. I have to be the one who finishes it. But shit's getting dark. How is it that I think about the girl with every waking second in every single one of these tens of thousands of words that I've written, and she can't even fucking send me one goddamn text message? Has one thought of me even crossed her mind this weekend? But maybe it's for the best. If she had been more receptive this weekend, or receptive at all, there's no way I would have gotten this far.
Could it be that everything goes around by chance? Or only one way that it was always meant to be? You kill me and always know the perfect thing to say. Hey, hey, I know what I should do, but I just can't walk away.
Could it be that everything goes round by chance? Or is there one way that it was always meant to be? You kill me. You always know the perfect thing to say. I know what I should do, but I just can't walk away. Shit's getting dark, but that seems to be the only way I can write. Every normal day of my life I deal with hurt, but it's just emotional hurt. That's fucking major depressive disorder for you. Hurtful thoughts all the time, but this weekend, I'm also a physical mess. I'm tired of feeling this way.
Rock Bottom at the Renaissance. You can find where you can listen to that audiobook or actually read the physical copy. Go to rockbottombook.com. All right, let's get to our main guest of the evening, which I am super stoked about because ever since I heard of this band, I've been wanting to talk to them and have them on the podcast. And the stars just finally aligned, and so we're making it happen. So let's welcome Johnny from Keep Flying onto the podcast. Hey, Johnny.
What's up, brother?
How are you, man? Yeah, the clapping. Dude, your gauges are
On the move.
are gnarly, man.
They're big.
It's
They
yeah,
are.
It's been a hot minute since I've seen gauges that big. It's funny. I was actually wondering the other day if gauges were still a thing or not. So like, do you still see a lot of people with gauges, or are you like the person holding it together, and just keeping that going?
Not larger than a half an inch. Half an inch is about as big as I see more, but even that's rare. It's really mostly small, like the size that my nose is. I have a 2 gauge in
Uh-huh.
my nose.
Oh,
I think
okay.
I see that, but I have a lot of friends that had very large stretched lobes and they closed them up. It's happened. Pretty much every last person in my life that had comparable have closed them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
It
we're
was
holding.
like
I
your
still
whole
like
yeah.
look in the mirror. I like how I look. That's why.
Well, I mean, they were a big thing in the last decade, the 2010s or the 20 teens, whatever you want to call them. And to me, the stereotype was always like it was like the metal core kids had them. But not everyone, obviously, because you play and keep
Oh,
flying. So,
oh, I
you
know.
know, what's that?
A few old bands. Uh, One of my favorite things to set up the stage for my other members and not actually grab my saxophone because I played sax in some previous bands of Keep Flying. Every time without fail after the sets, I'd have people come and be like, "I would have never thought you were the sax player. I would have assumed you were screaming or the drummer, not the sax guy." So
That's funny. Brittany Edwards is happy you're keeping the gauge game going. So she's giving you the two thumbs up there.
game
But
going. You know
obviously,
what? Hell yeah, let's keep it going.
yeah, let's keep it going. Well, let's talk about Keep Flying. I have been listening to Survival ever since it came out. It's such a great record. Everything I've listened to from Keep Flying, though, to me is amazing. And it's just I just love the sounds that you guys bring together. And I'm sure you get this all the time because I know I've said this previously myself because I have played your music on the podcast before, but it's literally like Real Friends and Less Than Jake had a baby and its name was Keep Flying. And I'm sure you hear that all the time. And I was curious, is that something you agree with or like hearing or hate hearing or, you know,
Yeah, that's we get Wonder Years in Less Than Jake. We get Set Your Goals in Less Than Jake. Pretty much Less Than Jake is the ska punk side that we get almost every comparison, which will take because across all the members of a band, that a band in that genre that we all like, which I can't say the same about every band genre, but Less Than Jake across the board we all love. And then, yeah, we think more of older. I don't want to say old guy pop punk, but like older stuff. I really
yeah.
love Lifetime. I love Old Saves the Day. I love New Saves too, but kids. And then that next generation were all the bands that we were friends with, like the 4 Year Strongs and the Set Your Goals and the Wonder Years and the Real Friends and the Champs and that. Not the new is seeming more pop, like scale, which those guys, but it really sounds like them.
Hmm.
We like to keep it in the in between, ska, the pop punk, and the punk, leaning on an emphasis towards mostly the punk. We like it to be like when people ask us, we describe ourselves as a punk band with horns, because I do think that's the easiest way to explain what it is that our sound is. You might like ska bands and like us. You might pop punk bands and like us. You might like the Menzingers and the Bouncing Souls and like us, just straight punk music. Um, so yeah, I think you nailed it. If that's how you describe it, I'll take it. I'm into
I
that.
mean,
That's all good.
Yeah, that's just when I first heard you guys. I guess maybe I think Real Friends because I'm from the greater Chicagoland area, which obviously Real Friends is from. So maybe that's why I think that. And obviously I'm a big Less Than Jake fan, so that's where that comes into play. But it's just so cool to hear those two sounds put together because I never thought I would hear those two things put together and work so well. It's so cool to hear that.
That's good news then. That's great. We got to
I
tour with Real Friends before COVID, which was awesome. We've yet to tour with Less Than Jake. And,
you're
and
you're
I
you're you're
think that's a
cutting up
dream
there.
tour to go out, which was awesome.
Are you Johnny, are you near
Hold on.
your Yeah, okay. I was gonna say you're cutting up pretty bad. I don't know if you're far away from your Wi-Fi or not.
See.
All right. Thank you everyone for the we had a Veronica commented and said there was some Wi-Fi issues, and I noticed that as well. Thank you. And yeah, while Johnny is getting situated, um, yeah, you put it perfectly. Brittany said the gray area of punk band with horns. Absolutely. Um, it's cool to be in that gray area because then you can fit in with so many different styles in the scene. All right, let's see. How's it going now, Gianni?
Is this working? Is this working any better?
Maybe a tad, yeah. Uh, Can you hear me okay?
A tad is bad news.
Well, I mean, I think
I hear you perfect.
a little bit of okay, a little bit of improvement is better than no improvement, am I right? So, you know.
I would like to hope so, and I hope that's the case. I've been having issues with the Wi-Fi at the house. We have some trees that block the lines, so I just shut it
Ah,
off, and I'm hoping that's going to work better.
gotcha. Yeah, I've been having internet issues at my house too, so I hear you, man. Here we go. Logan says he's never seen a band tear up the stage like Keep Flying. I
Well,
have yet to.
to Logan, you have not seen us live yet?
Not yet, no.
Okay. And where are you
Um,
based?
I'm just south of Chicago, about an
Okay.
hour.
I
Yeah.
think we'll have I think return to Chicago maybe in December. We're figuring it out right now, but yeah, in response to Logan, I think a big part of KF is the live show. I think that's how we win people over. We're not super great with the internet presence, as where most of us are older, and completely transparently, I just don't like to do it. Actually, through COVID, I kind of fell off of like caring about being on the internet. Other members of my band are a little more active. Our drummers, probably the most active. Um, but I think we make up for that with our live show when people see us for the first time, either by accident or because of word of mouth or whatever the reason is. Without fail, I've never had someone come up and say, "Yeah, that was all right," ever. We are purely chaotic energy on stage. We put our full amount in, whether it's I'm on an interview. I'm getting summoned.
It's
Um,
okay.
we have
I know how that goes.
cases of water out that need to be moved in.
Wait, what's going on? Something's got to be moved in.
I have a few cases of water on the front deck that need to be brought into the home. You know.
Gotcha. I would give you a
Yeah.
hand with that right now if I was right next to you. I'd totally help you with that.
You know what? It's 3 cases, so we could probably make it in one trip. You
We
know?
probably could. We
Uh,
probably could. Yeah. So you're kind of going back to the
yeah, it's
the basics,
chaos.
you know, of I mean, um, focusing more on your live show and not as much on being on the internet all the time.
Yeah, you know what? I totally understand that. You must be there. You must have presence on the internet. You must engage. You must have TikTok. I agree. I know that is the way to grow. I'm totally 1,000%. It's hard for me to do it. What's not hard for me to do is to get on stage and outshow everybody, which is maybe a bold thing to say, but we have opened plenty of festivals where people come up to us at the end of the evening and say, "Man, you guys played at 11:30 a.m. and that was one of the best sets I've seen the whole day." You know, not for nothing. It's because whether it's 10 people or 2 people or 200 or 2,000, we put the same energy into our live show.
Yeah.
And I think that counts for a lot, at least for us. I'm very prideful knowing that people relate. Crazy, chaotic live show, keep flying. I'll take it. I'll take it any day.
And to add to that, Veronica from Pop Punk Takeout says, seeing JJR pull a rainbow scarf out of their mouth on stage was my favorite moment during the Real Big Fish show at the Paramount. You pulled a rainbow scarf out of your mouth?
I do magic on stage sometimes during the set.
Yeah,
So yes.
that's pretty
Yes,
sweet.
there is magic involved in chaos. Yeah. I'm
I
actually
love
working
that.
on fire breathing. We're going to be doing fire breathing, I think, at any outdoor shows or places that will allow fire.
Have you ever done that before?
I'm practicing right now. Not live.
Yeah?
I have not yet done that live, and we will this summer.
But I mean, like, just on your own personal time, is that something you actually do, or you're just
Yeah.
starting to?
Yes.
It is something you do. Okay. I've always wondered how that works.
Yeah,
How do
learning
you?
from. Well, it's just taking a swig of horrible chemicals and holding them in your mouth and then blowing them. That's what it is.
It's that simple. It's literally that simple.
It's that simple.
Wow. I don't know. I guess I thought there was more to it than that. And you just hope you don't like burn yourself pretty much, or like.
Yeah, it's more so if you've ever just had a swig of water and done like a misting thing. As long as you can do that, you're not going to injure yourself. I mean, you always could. There's definitely always risk, but
Yeah.
you know, for the show, I'll take the risk. I'll take the risk for the show.
It's a fire sale, Veronica says.
That's right.
And
That's right.
and she says she expects eyebrows to be burned off during the survival shows, which we should definitely plug because those are coming up. Is it the end of July? I can't remember when the actual like CD release shows, even though it's like several months after, obviously because of COVID. But you are doing some special
Yeah.
survival shows.
It's going to be July 31st and August 1st. We did not think we were going to have any shows this year. I don't think anyone did in January.
No.
So we're doing late release shows. We just decided, screw it. Let's make our first shows back release shows. Let's have a variant of the record that's only available at the shows. Let's have some exclusive stuff. Let's give people the full record front to back and cut our catalog in half amongst the 2 shows. I think it'll be exciting. Let's make some perks for the 2-day passes. And so far it's going well. I think both shows are just about 100 tickets between the 2-day passes and single. And the room only holds 200. So, we're pretty much halfway there. and we haven't even announced other bands yet, which we are excited about, having friends on the shows, and a myriad of other gimmicks that we're going to do. We're having Henry cook breakfast for people Sunday morning at the
Yeah?
venue. So we're doing like
Oh,
a
that's
brunch
awesome.
for free for pretty cool. Yeah.
Because is Henry a cook, right? Because I think I'm Facebook friends with him, and I think I've seen him cook up some interesting stuff.
Yes, he loves to eat, he loves to cook, and he's had several cooking jobs, so he's pretty good at what he does.
Man, I might have to come all the way out there just to experience Keep Flying finally and Henry's cooking. Like, I'm hungry thinking about it right now. Should make some breakfast pizzas.
He's gonna work on a menu right now. We talked earlier tonight. I said that he should get a menu together next week so we can actually let people know.
Nice.
But I know that he's coming up with some funny things, which could entail something like that. Also, based off of what you said about coming in for the show, actually, what was cool is that I found out via like just snooping with the tickets, we've got people from just under half of the states of the United States of America coming for the show. Like
Wow.
there are like 23 states account on tickets that we sold, and Canada. So that's pretty cool.
That's amazing, man. I mean, you guys deserve it with how hard, you've worked. I mean, that whole DIY punk rock ethic that you guys put on, from your show performance to the way you hustle your band, you definitely deserve it. It's showing, I guess, that it's working,
Yeah, I mean, I need a first show back just like the next person, and I'm really happy to know that there's a lot of people in our community that want to be there, even though they're many states away. Whether it's their first show back or second or third, it's certainly not too many, because our shows are still in the summer. Whereas most of these tours start like September. I'm sure you've seen pretty much everything starts September.
Pretty much, yeah.
So I don't know. I'm excited.
Yeah, hell yeah,
I'm
man.
excited to play songs for people. I want to be emotionally charged by these songs, and I think that will, not that it's gone, but it will definitely recharge to hear people singing the words back to songs that we just wanted to tour on so hard, and we just couldn't, like everybody else. So I just want to hear these songs with people before we start writing and working on more new music. It's just I'm excited.
So where do you come into the mix on the writing circle for Keep Flying? Do you have any hand in it besides writing? Obviously, I imagine you write your own horn lines, but besides that, where does writing come into play for Keep Flying, especially with Survival, the latest release?
With the latest release, this was Henry wrote the EP over a really long time, a few years. He was putting that together. It is definitely a cohesive piece. As a band, we did a lot of production once the skeletons were made, on rearranging the parts cutting parts out, and so on and so forth. So we did that all as a group effort with the full band. Lyrically, same thing. Henry had a lot of lyrics dialed in, but as a group, we kind of also look at some of the words, change a couple, move some things around, cut some things. You are correct. I wrote all the horns for this record, which was really fun for me. I wrote all the harmonies. Our friend Sam came in and did the trombone. He just listened to what I wrote, and he just recorded it. And our friend Brucey, him and Ace Enders at Lumberyard, did a lot of work on production side of it as well, with like rearrangements and reevaluating a 4-minute song. It really should be 3 minutes, and the intro slash and the outro that were all the intro and Surviving the Night and the outro that used to be a full song, and then we kind of changed it and split it up into multiple songs. Like we did a lot of change from like the original demos. But yeah, Henry is the main songwriter. That being said, we're working on a new kind of thing right now, and we've done it very differently. We've actually gathered together to rehearse and write as a unit, which is the first time we've ever done that as a band, which is very different. So I'm excited about that too. We go back to the studio the last week of June, so we're pumped. We'll see. Nervous.
Yeah, I was gonna say nervous, but also excited because you'll most likely whatever you record in the studio next, you'll actually be able to tour on that, unlike with Survival. So I'm sure having that in mind is pretty exciting.
So you know what? I'll just straight up tell you, we're all in on touring on Survival. So what we're working on next is actually recomposed versions of a few Survival songs, and then a few songs from our back catalog that are complete different genres, nothing like anything we've ever done, because we want to keep the focus on Survival. We have a song that's already done coming out on a split in September. That's like a companion piece to Survival, and then we're going to release this recomposed versions as like a second companion piece, and then we're working on 2 other songs, full band, that are going to be like the third companion piece. We made a conscious effort and decision to, instead of just going straight to the next thing, whether it's an EP or a full length, to write and record some music that goes hand in hand with Survival, so that we can spend the rest of this year and next year doing Survival. We were like that driven on those songs. I know a lot of artists are just moving on. That's fine.
Right.
But we consciously discussed and decided we're going to stick with this, because we think that especially Surviving the Night, the way the record ends, I really feel like once we get playing these songs, I think it's going to really push us and elevate us more than we were before. I hope, so we'll see.
I would imagine,
I think
because
clearly we owe everyone ourselves.
yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. You owe it to everybody, because that'll almost bring those songs back to life, because you'll actually get to play them in front of an audience for the first time, and that'll just be a whole new experience for everybody, obviously. Not only for you, but the audience will finally get to hear them too. So it's just all super exciting things, and I know personally I can't wait to hear some of these songs live, because there's just so much energy in each one of these songs. And it's been a while since I've heard, like, I mean, I guess they're technically songs. I was calling them interludes, but like, that first song, and then Interstate, like in the middle, is technically a song. You guys did a video for that song, I know, but it's just like Interstate's like this 1 minute long, really super fast punk song, and then like it's over. and I love that. It's like just like a quick, kick your ass and then get out kind of thing.
What's funny is that since it came out, we've had songs off that way that you just talked about it. It's pretty much everyone's been like, I love the record, especially that part in the middle where you're just playing a hardcore song and you're in and out.
Yeah.
And I think that's just like it comes hand in hand with doing things that are out of the box, so people aren't expecting it, and then they're hearing it and they're like, whoa. But we really like playing music like that, and I can hear for the first Republic, we're going to write more music like that, because we want to, and we're very excited to write more music like that.
Yeah, because I don't think I've ever heard anything like interstate. You guys do anything like that before that I can remember that I've heard at least. So that was definitely a nice um like you said, kind of a surprise and kind of like caught you off guard, but in a good way.
That's what we're doing when we're going back to the studio. We got one of our songs. It sounds like a Mumford and Sons song, and I'm very excited about that because a lot of the people in my life, when I show them my music, they're normies, and our music is completely unlistenable for them. That is not music. That's bad. It's unlistenable. And I will not do it. But when I give them the Jack Johnson version of one of our songs, they're like, wow, this is the best thing I ever heard from you. Best music you've ever made. And I'm excited about that. And it's kind of a little bit of the direction that we're doing these songs.
Okay. All right. Keep flying, doing Jack Johnson. All right. That'll you guys will do it better than Jack, that's for sure. Um, so we should talk about Pop Punk Takeout too, because you guys are a part of their very first subscription box that they're doing, and I know that you have a good relationship with Veronica, who is talked here and there in the comments on the live stream. Um, and she had to dip out, but she said she was happy she got to catch some of the show. Um, but yeah, how did you meet Veronica from Pop Punk Takeout? How did you guys meet?
We've been friends for a while. She works with some of the bands that we play with at home, and she presented the idea, and I nurtured the idea, and I gave her feedback that I think she enjoyed, and I was very persistent on, I'd love to get a record instead of a t-shirt you're getting from other bands. I love for it to be survival. We're really pushing this, and I think that's another cool way that we can push it. And I think we got on the phone like a couple times every week or two. And then she showed me the design. I said it was amazing. It's a pizza box. It's a great idea with a Chinese food container logo. Great idea. Got a few other bands. Loot Crate, something I used to subscribe to. I used to a horror subscription box as well. And some bands that I love have recently, in the last couple of years, started subscription services for music, plus things like Patreon. I think that this is a great way of combining a lot of those ideas. And I know she's been texting me some of the numbers they've been getting pre-order wise, as well as places that they're getting orders from. It seems like it's going really well, and I'm really happy to have been in the first, inaugural box, if you will, with a record, and I think it's going to open the door. We work with Smart Punk Records, and I've connected them, and I think it might open the door for future boxes to have other records. I know that will like vinyl subscription stuff, or grab bags or giveaways when surprise $5 vinyls and things like this. I think that vinyl. Sorry, I said an S. I want to be chastised by one.
All the audio
Correct,
files out there.
vinyl. But yeah. Wow.
Awesome. Yeah,
I'm
I've been
excited.
sorry, go ahead. Are you still there, Johnny?
Oh, I'm here. I just had a
Oh,
slight
okay.
delay, so I was just letting it
Oh,
roll
okay.
out. Hopefully, you're good.
Yeah, no, I'm good. We're just getting a little bit of delay, so I wasn't sure. That one was a little longer than normal, so I wasn't sure if you were still there. But yeah, I'm super excited about Pop Punk Takeout and everything they're doing, and I think it's amazing that you guys are a part of the very first box. So everyone that is listening to this right now, if it's not too late, you definitely need to get a part of that very first box, especially if you're a Keep Flying fan, or even now just hearing this episode, you're like, wow, I really want to check out Keep Flying. And the vinyl in this box from Keep Flying is actually very special variants, right?
Yeah, it's the Pink Galaxy second press that also comes with a pink 2.5-inch challenge coin that matches the vinyl pretty close. And at this moment, it's the last variant that we have. I know that we had given them 20 of our first press, and then that sold out immediately, which was awesome. But we're
Yeah.
into the second press copies, but it. And also, not for nothing, but we have also decided as a band to let Survival go out of print after whatever Veronica and Pop Punk take out sold by Sunday. Whatever copies left that we have at Smart Punk, that's going to be the rest of the copies. And I know that's less than 100. So once that's gone, there are no more copies of Survival. We do not plan to repress it. We haven't publicly said that, but we are going to do that within the what's left is the end. No more, because we like to keep our stuff limited. And personally, I love purchasing records. I'm a soundtrack collector, but I love collecting records that are limited, that I know when I read that they have no intention of repressing, I get excited and it makes me want to purchase it even more so.
Yeah.
So, I can confidently say that there only ever have been 100 copies of this record in press, and that'll be it. That'll be all the copies that ever existed. So,
Yeah, definitely. It just makes it extra special on top of it already being special on its own. But yeah, I agree. I love when artists do things like that and make it very limited and extra special for their fans. It's such a cool thing. Um, well, Johnny, we're about at time. So, anything else about Keep Flying you want to tell us about before you go?
We've got a new song coming out on a split, like I was saying, a companion piece to Survival. It's been done since the record's been done. It's going to be like early September. We're excited. The comeback shows, we're excited. Our Texas run from last April, COVID, is getting moved to November of this year. We're squeezing in much East and Midwest as we can between of August and November, December. And I really just implore people to come out. If you haven't seen us before, give it a come out and see the show. And I assure you that you will have a good time. You will laugh. I could guarantee laughter. And I can guarantee you leaving saying they were fun. They were super fun. And that's all that we really want people to do. When with Keep Flying, we really live that mantra as much as we can. We all have jobs. We all have shit to do. We all go up and down. But we personally are a band. We play because we want to escape that for a little while, and we want the people who are coming to enjoy live music to also escape that. That's why we're really inclined to just have fun on stage and not talk about serious, and just play the songs and time and make you forget about all that stuff. That's what we like. That's so. If you haven't seen us, or you have, come on out. We're gonna start getting back to it. Shows are gonna be rolling. We're gonna have fun. Take it from there. Thanks for having me on here. I really am sorry for the delay and the bad Wi-Fi and the choppiness. I did my best. I'm old, and technology's not my forte, and I can admit that.
Well, I just appreciate you doing the best that you could possibly do, So Thank you so much for that, and obviously your time as well. And it was great meeting you, getting to talk to you, and I cannot wait till the day you can finally see Keep Flying in person here in the Midwest. So that is going to be a great time.
Hopefully, we get to open for Iron Maiden soon.
Yeah, I mean
Hopefully.
that would be perfect. That mask you're holding up would be totally perfect for Iron Maiden. Hey, it could happen, man. It could definitely happen. And if it does, I am going to be so thrilled for you. So, all right, Johnny, well, have a great rest of the night, man.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you. All right. Thank you once again to Johnny of Keep Flying for being on Pop Punk and Pizza. And of course, Pete Long from My Cousin's Girlfriend's House, who was our first guest this evening, for being on. Please support both of those bands. They're both absolutely amazing, as well as our sponsors as well. Pop Punk and Pizza podcast is presented by Pop Punk Takeout, which you've heard us talk about a couple times already. But they're that monthly subscription box that sends merchandise from pop punk bands from all over the world directly to your door in a takeout box, whether it's the pizza box version or the Chinese takeout box version. And don't forget about that Instagram giveaway that is going on until this Friday, June 18th. At 7 p.m. Eastern Time. You can go to our Instagram account at Pop Punk Pizza Pod to enter. All the rules are there, and you can win the July box for absolutely free, or a chance to win that box absolutely free. And then also additional support for this episode does come from Mike Henneberger and his best-selling mixtape memoir, Rock Bottom at the Renaissance. The audiobook is narrated by Tyler Posey, and what's cool about the audiobook is that you get to experience the 20-song soundtrack that includes 2 Jimmy Eat World's recordings that you cannot hear anywhere else. So make sure you go to rockbottombook.com to listen to that. And I'm, of course, Jacques Lamour. Thank you for downloading this podcast. If you want to keep up to date on everything Pop Punk and Pizza related, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Pop Punk Pizza Pod. You can also sign up for our mailing list at poppunkpizzapod.com. We also have a merch store there. You can submit your band's music there. All that fun stuff. You can obviously listen to episodes there, or you can just listen to wherever it is that you get your podcasts. We do stream our recordings live every single Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Time on our Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch accounts. So if you actually want to watch the show live, you can do that. But if you can't, then you just listen to the podcast version later on wherever it is you listen to podcasts. So it's always great to have you here. And I feel like I'm forgetting something else that I was supposed to tell you about. Now I can't think of what it was. But anyway, we'll be back next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Time. Like I said, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. We will be back June 23rd, and that will be with... Sorry, I thought I had the schedule pulled up here. Where did it go? The internet's been a little tricky tonight, so I apologize for that. June 23rd is going to be with Ruth Crest and also with Virginity. So I will talk to you then. And have a great rest of the night, or great rest of the afternoon or morning, or whatever time it is you're listening to this.
I'm going out, I gotta go. I'll bang a ring on the
I always hit the wrong one.
Hey, hello, it's nice to meet ya. Hey, come in and have a slice of pizza.